Did you know that you can auto-record and automatically transcribe all of your meetings with Google Meet, so you never miss an important detail again? Imagine having a searchable record of every single meeting, accessible by Gemini, making it a cinch to access any past conversations, strategies, or anything you've spoken about in a meeting ever inside your business. This is the new way of doing business with Meet and Gemini, and I want to share it with you. My name is Pete Moriarty, and I've been working with business owners for over 20 years, systemizing, organizing, and scaling their business with Google Workspace and other technology tools. I want to walk you through 10 Google Meet tips and tricks in this video that you should start using right now. Whether it's mastering screen sharing, setting up Google Meeting recording, or any of the other features that are inside your Meet, I'm hoping to cover everything in this short masterclass. To take your meetings from average to, slightly better than average, let's go. Now, I mentioned it in the intro, but you can record your Google Meetings either manually or automatically. And when you set up a meeting to record, it automatically saves your recording into Google Drive. Now, I love this because if we're creating a training and we want to then move it straight into the training folder, I don't have to render it and upload the recording or find it in the Zoom cloud library. Using Google Meet is like the way to do this. The other thing you can do is also transcribe your meetings. As I mentioned earlier, when a transcription is placed in your Google Drive, it is available to Gemini, meaning that the hundreds of meetings we've had across our company over years of recording and transcribing meetings are now all available as a knowledge base for us. Pretty cool. Now, we record pretty much every single meeting in our business, whether it's an interview with a new candidate, onboarding somebody. Anytime we're on a call, we want to be able to refer to it and make those meetings useful. Yes, sure, from time to time, you need to have a candid conversation with someone, and we don't record those, obviously. But for the most part, we try and capture everything because we know that if we can access that data with Gemini, well, we can get not only insights, but recover information that may have otherwise been lost if somebody forgets. If you want to set up your meetings to automatically record, well, you do that when you schedule a meeting inside your Google Calendar. Whether it's a one-off or a recurring meeting, you go into your meeting settings after the event has been created. Now you can set it up to record your meeting, transcribe your meeting, and also take notes with Gemini if you've got access to Gemini. So let's dive into our actual meeting. I'm going to assume you've worked out how to set your background picture and change the blurred settings if you want to. Let's talk about one of the exciting features that you can do when you're in the meeting, and that is live captions. Now, if you're someone who's not particularly strong in the language that's being spoken inside the meeting, maybe you've got a hearing impairment, it can be really useful to have the written words going across the screen in real time, understanding what people are saying. You click on the captions button down the bottom of the screen and you'll get real-time captions from your account. Now, I love using this anytime there is an issue with maybe someone I'm having trouble understanding, and let me show you something that'll fry your noodle, I can translate from a different team's language into English. Yes, Google do live translations on their captions. So if someone is chika-chikaing behind my back in Filipino, then I can actually have that automatically translated into English live on the call. I love this feature, and many different languages are supported. Not all of them yet, but Google are adding more all the time. Next up is screen sharing, and this is pretty straightforward. You can share a tab, you can share your whole screen, you can share just a window. It does perform quite well sharing audio as well. So using the tab sharing feature, if you want to play a YouTube video or a movie to your team, you can do that pretty easily. Now, you do have to click some buttons if you're on a Mac to authorize the screen sharing for the first time, but once you've done that, you're good to go. Now, one of Google's special magic features for those who use Google Slides is that you can actually control your slideshow from right within the meeting. And this is why I would never be seen dead using PowerPoint or Mac Keynote anymore, because Google Slides lets you do this awesome feature when you're presenting. Rather than trying to bother with multiple screens or clicking back out into your presentation and back into the meeting and trying to see how people's reactions are when you're presenting, having it in one place that you can click through the slides while seeing people in the meeting at the same time is magic. And Google Slides also has a pretty impressive feature where you can embed your camera into the slideshow. And so for those that are maybe watching the slideshow in full screen, they can still see your impressions from your camera live and embedded into the slide deck. You just can't do that outside of the Google ecosystem. and I love this awesome feature. Google lets multiple people screen share at the same time if you need to work something out with someone across multiple machines. And you've also got the option to annotate, draw pictures, and that kind of thing on top of the presentations that everyone on the call will get to see. For those that have been using Meet for a long time, you might not know that Google have added quite a number of new features, including the ability to run a poll or set up a Q&A session. Now, I love these for large meetings because if I've got lots of people who want to answer questions or have their questions answered, they can sometimes get lost in the chat. We want to leave the chat open for the chit chat while we're on a meeting, but the Q&A section allows us to actually have a list of questions that the presenter can then answer one by one. Of course, the other useful feature is that it is a democratic system where people can give a thumbs up to vote for the questions they want to have answered, so those ones find their way to the top. You can enable the Q&A down in the bottom right-hand corner of your Meet, and it's a little bit hard to find, but once you've got it there, you may need to encourage your participants to access it as well from the bottom right-hand corner of their screen. Do you like what you're learning so far? There's even more training for free on Google Workspace and other technology tools on our website, itgenius.com. Click the link down below and head to the training section on our website for more in-depth personalized training for small business owners, professionals, and IT managers working with the Google ecosystem. While we're talking new features, let's talk about breakout rooms, another one that was introduced just in the last couple of years. And you've got the ability to, like a Zoom room, set up multiple individual breakout rooms for people to get access to. You can plan these in advance, or you can even set them up during the meeting if you like. If you add someone as a co-host to the meeting, then they can organize your breakout rooms for you. And they're quite dynamic. You can add people in and out of the breakout rooms. You can go and visit the rooms yourself if you're the host. You've got lots of options there. One of my favorite features of Google Meet is the noise cancellation. We've all been on a meeting where someone's got a dog barking or a baby crying or something going along like loud traffic in the background that can be distracting to the meeting. I've found Google's voice cancellation to be absolutely stellar. It really means that no matter what's going on in the background, people are just going to hear the voice of those on the call. Now, if you've got a good quality microphone, it's going to make everything work better. So that is really going to be your limit there if it works or not. But once you've got your environment set up correctly and a high quality microphone to speak into, even your computer microphone is probably okay, but a dedicated mic is better, let's be honest. You can make sure that you're not having any distractions come in from outside of the meeting. Next, for those who want to set up a webinar or a presentation, which is a bit more one way, you can actually set up host controls, and you do this when you schedule your meeting. You can go into your settings and change and enable hosting. Now, what that means is you can, for example, have some people join the meeting just as viewers. Maybe they're just able to respond to polls or questions that you put up there, but they're not able to share their screen, unmute themselves, or add themselves in any other way. You can go through the host control settings to see all of the individual settings there. And the thing that I love about this is even when I'm presenting, I will allow my team to manage all of the participants. I add them as a co-host and they handle all of the hosting for the meeting, so the presenter can just do their job presenting. Closely related to this is attendance tracking. If you have people who are joining your meeting and you want to get a list of who actually showed up or didn't show up, for those that you perhaps invited to a webinar or online presentation, well, switching on attendance tracking means that you get a report after the meeting and a summary of the meeting, letting you know who is engaged and who actually showed up. This is really, really useful if you're doing any kind of marketing with the Google Meet, because it means that you've got the opportunity to see who actually came along. Now, there's not much integration-wise with this. You can't connect it to your CRM system or anything, but it does at least give you the basics. Finally, I want to share one of my favorite features, and that is companion mode. And this is really useful for anyone who has multiple devices. Maybe you've got one laptop connected to a TV and you've got a second device in the room that you want to join the meeting from that doesn't necessarily need to have a second camera, but you do want to be able to respond to chat messages or share your screen. Maybe you're using a phone or an iPad for dialing into the meeting and you want to join via your laptop and share your screen, or do some emoji reactions when someone says something interesting. Well, companion mode is how you join the meeting with a second device without having the echo go back and forward between your two primary devices. If you're in the same room as somebody else, Google does have a new feature though called merged audio. If you open your computer next to somebody else in the same meeting room and it's clear you're both in the same room where there could be feedback from the different microphones, Google will attempt to automatically merge your audio and use different microphones in the same room to get the best quality audio for everybody that's on the call. I really like that one. Now, my team said to wrap it up here, but I wanted to throw you a little bonus in. Google now support picture-in-picture mode, so you can multitask while you're working on Google Meet. Maybe you've got some team members and you're trying to get some stuff done together. Picture-in-picture mode basically pops out of Chrome if you're using Chrome on your machine and allows you to work on your other tabs, work on your other work, and still be connected to your meeting. I'd love to know if you thought I hit all the best notes of Google Meet. Leave a comment down below if there's anything that you'd like to add. If you'd like to learn more about any of the features of Google Workspace, you want to get your business and your team productive, hit that subscribe button for the channel, check out some of our other videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.